Hey Krishna, we welcome all of you in the second part of prayers of demigods for Lord Krishna. So yesterday we read that Devaki was little perturbed as she knew that Lord has arrived in her home, but she was a little perturbed because she knew Kamsa has killed her 6 sons. Now she was worried that he will kill this one also. But she was happy also because as she was having the Supreme Personality of Godhead in her home. So, and then Krishna arranges for Balramji to be attracted to the womb of Mother Rohini, and Krishna himself appeared in the heart of Vasudeva, and from there he appeared in the heart of Devaki woman. So, we'll continue from there today that how the anxiety of Devaki Maya was mitigated by the demigods. So here it's important to learn that when we are in association of devotees, when we are in shelter of Harinam, then the bhaktas, the devotees, the association of devotees never leave us alone in our distress. Happiness, everyone is there, but in distress, we are never alone. So we'll start with Bungacharan and then we'll continue from where we stopped yesterday. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanam Janashvalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरये कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा share the screen for you. So we stop here that on a tree two birds are sitting. One is busy eating the fruits of its action and the other bird is watching, and we are not ready to turn to that bird to listen how to improve, how to get successful in this life, in spiritual life as well as in this material life. So we'll first, you can say the first stepping point in bhakti, in devotional service, is to hear. Shravanam has been given the most importance in the process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we'll start from here, from the root cause of material manifestation described here is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expands himself to take charge of the three qualities of the material world. Vishnu takes charge of the mode of goodness, Brahma takes charge of mode of passion, and Lord Shiva takes charge of the mode of ignorance. So here it's clearly mentioned that Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. So Brahma Samhita says Ishvara Parama Krishna. The ultimate Lord is Sri Krishna, and he manifests himself in the form of Shyam Sundar with two hands and beautiful bluish black color. So here it is clarified that all the three main demigods, like Vishnu, he takes charge of mode of goodness, Brahmaji takes charge of mode of passion, and Lord Shiva takes charge of mode of ignorance. So all these three takes charge of different departments of this universe. But this whole universe is under the jurisdiction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was there before the creation, is here during the creation, and will be there after this creation is annihilated. And everything after the annihilation, everything is dissolved and it rests within his body only. So the demigods prayed to the Lord that Krishna is appearing just for the maintenance of this manifestation. Actually, the supreme cause is one, but the less intelligent people who are deluded by these three modes of material nature, they try to find some other causes. Actually, there is no other cause. Like in Brahma Samhita, it says Sarva Karana Karanam. So, for cause of all causes, who is Krishna? Is cause of all causes, and all others are agents who have been deputed by him for maintenance, for destruction, for annihilation. All these things are the agents who have been deputed by the Lord. So even the demigods are saying it's very difficult to understand your eternal form of personality. So people in general are unable to understand your actual form. So here we have to first understand that like demigods, they are praying to Krishna, they are worshipping to Krishna. So, because they are saying Krishna is very pleasing to sadhus, so that's why he takes birth, he incarnates himself in the form of Shyam Sundar with two hands and moving among humans just like them for the pleasure of his devotees. And as devotees, we should know how to worship. Actually, we worship God. If you ask anyone, they will say, oh, we worship God. How can you say that? So each one of us, every one of us is worshiping God, but actually we don't know how to worship God. You know why? Because if we understand with a small example, suppose we go to a shop, right? And we place an order. There are so many things. Suppose some stationery is there, some kitchen things are there, some office files are there. Everything. We just write in a list. We make a long list. We go to a shop, place it in front of shopkeeper, ask him to pack everything, and then tell him, "Okay, I'll come. I have some work in other shops. I'll do that." And then you finish this, and by the time I'll take a round of your shop, so how your shop looks. So we just go around and come back, and he said, okay, your order is ready. We pick up the order, and the shopkeeper will call, right? He will say, oh, hello, where's the money? Well, what money? Well, you have taken so many things, where's the money? Well, yeah, why money? I am staying in your locality, so it's your duty to serve me. So you have served me. So someday if I have some 10, 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs profit, that time I'll come and give you some 11, 12 rupees as a token that, okay, because you are serving me so nicely for so many years. Will it work that way? He will ask police and police will put you in jail. So Devki and Vasudeva are in transcendental jail because of love of Godhead, and we will be in jail because of love of our material desires, right? So similarly, this is what we are doing with Krishna. What we are doing, we just go to temple, we place our orders. Oh Krishna, give me this. Oh Lord, give me this. Oh Brahmaji, Shivji, this. You just give me this one, and you go around the temple. You do one parikrama. You circumambulate the temple, and then what you do? Okay, fine. You are giving my order, good. If you are not giving, there are more shops, there are more demigods. I'll go to someone else who is ready to give me whatever I desire, and that too for free. So if I get profit, if I'm happy with it, I'll come and offer some 11 rupees, $11 coconut or some sweets for you. So, does it work like that? No. So, here we have to understand the whole process of worship is in the mode of Shuddha Satogun. So, what to speak about Shuddha Satogun? We are not even in a mode of goodness because we just want to treat Krishna as our order supply. We just don't want to listen to the instructions and we just don't know how to be grateful. And to be grateful to the Lord is the easiest thing is to surrender to Him, is to follow the rules and regulations He has made for us. To be in this human body, there are certain rules which have to be followed. Like we gave example of the red light crossing, right? If the dogs and cats, they cross in red light also, nobody is going to hold them and put them in jail. Oh, you have violated the rules. But as a human being, if we violate the rules, then what is going to happen? Then we'll be punished, right? Either we'll get hurt or we'll be punished. So this way, demigods are praying to the Lord that when you take birth, when you come as it is on earth, when you descend to the earth, is to kill the demons and to give pleasure to the devotees. So we have to understand Krishna's descendant is not for to kill the demons. That Krishna can do from anywhere. With just one movement of his eyebrow, he could create the whole universe. So that Supreme Lord, do you think he has to come down on his own to kill the demons? No, but Krishna descends for the pleasure of the devotees and to experience that transcendental bliss shared among his bona fide devotees. Right? So here we have to understand the demigods are praying to Krishna that our dear lotus-eyed Lord, they are calling Krishna lotus-eyed Lord. And those who surrender to him, for them, the material distress, the material disease of hankerings, they all, if we follow the Vedas and the Shastras, the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, this world is dukhale asashvatam. It means here the miseries are for certain. Eternity, miseries are there for eternity. But those miseries are compared to a vast ocean. And then they say, when we surrender to that lotus-eyed Lord, what happens? That miseries become as small as the water contained in a calf's footprint, not even a cow's calf's footprint. So Bhagavatam explains this point very nicely. Bhagavatam says, Samashritaye padapallabha plavam mahat padam punya yasho murari Bhavangudir Vatsa Padam Param Padam Padam Yat Vipadam Natesha. So here Bhagavatam explains Samashrita. Those who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So for them what happens? For them there is a boat and that boat is Harinams. Like you go for cruise and this cruise, denting cruise, this some different names of cruise are there. So here this is a special cruise which is there for eternity. Whether COVID or no COVID, whether any material distress or no distress, whether exams or no exams, this cruise, this boat of Harinam is always there, ready to take us across this ocean of birth and death to our ultimate goal, our ultimate dham, Golok Vrindavan. So the question may be arise that if devotees are seated on that boat and the boat crosses over the ocean, then what about us? We are still here. We are just starting to understand how to worship Krishna, how to please Krishna. Then that boat has crossed over. How will we go? So here, Srila Prabhupada explains that our acharyas, our devotees are so merciful that they don't take the boat to that corner. Then how do they go? Just now I told you, right? Those who take shelter of Hari Nam, for them, what happens? The material miseries are reduced to the size of a calf's hoof print. How big is the hoof print of a cow? Oh, this much, maybe this much. So how much water it can retain? Children in villages and in towns and cities, if this much water is there, what do? They jump over it. So similarly, devotees, when those material miseries become small, they just jump over it, cross over it, and reach to Golok Dham. And the boat is still there, waiting for all of us, at least to start with, to take the shelter of the lotus feet. So, and then our aim to achieve that Golok Dham is where there is no vipada. Vipada means there is no material miseries, no miseries at all. And the aim of devotees is to reach to that Golok Dham, not to stay in this world where in every step there are difficulties. Right? So we must hear the definition of meditation has been given. So meditation means concentration upon the lotus feet of the Lord. So lotus feet indicate the supreme personality of Godhead. Sometimes people say, oh, I'm meditating, I'm trying to meditate. What are you meditating on? On sky, on vacuum? No. So here we don't have to go by our whims and fancies. We have to follow what is written in our scriptures. What has been for what this human body has been designed for. Jivera Swarup hoye Nitya Krishna Das. So our duty is to serve the Lord. Until and unless we serve the Lord, we cannot be. Because people don't know this. We work so hard day and night, right? To keep the body and soul together, to keep both hands meet. But then there is no point in keeping body and soul together if the center of attraction, if the center of our service is not Krishna. Because anyhow, any demigod you go to, you worship in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains, then also indirectly you are serving Lord. For a simple example, right? There are many ministers in a country and there's one prime minister, right? So if you support some minister, okay, I am supporting this minister, I'll go to them, I'll serve him because he's so nice to me. Ultimately, that benefit is going to him. Ultimately, that benefit is going to Prime Minister only because that minister is under his jurisdiction. The similar rule follows in an outer coverage area that Lord Krishna is the, you can say, the Prime Minister of the universe, and all other are ministers who have been delegated different duties. So we pay respect to each and everyone because they are the great devotees of the Lord. That's why they have been given that responsibility to take care of this material. But then if you know the Prime Minister, will you go by this way, this way? No, you will directly approach Prime Minister. And our Prime Minister is so merciful. He says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prachati. Only a leaf of tulsi plant or a fruit. Or if you cannot do that also, then only water. Patram pushpam, a flower, or only water if you offer me with love. Tadham bhakti upaharitam. When they give me this with love, I give them devotional service as a gift. So you won't get this much liberty anywhere that just by serving, just by taking his names, you don't have to do anything else. Bhagavatam says, Sankirtan Yagya, to chant Harinam, to take Krishna's name is the best remedy for to get rid of these material miseries and to get rid of this material world where there's padam yat viptam. There in every step there is one problem waiting for us. Right? So here they're saying demigods are praying that mercifully you have been we have appeared in our original unalloyed form so that the devotees in different four divisions of social orders, the brahmacharis, grihasthas, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis, can all take advantage of your appearance. So, okay, Aditi, would you like to read one paragraph?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna from here, dear Lord.
Dear Lord, husband of the goodness of fortune, devotees who are detailed in your service do not fall down from their high position like the impersonalities. Being protected by you, the devotees are able to traverse over the heads of many of Maya's commanders in chief, who can always put stumbling blocks on the path of liberation. Dear Lord, you appear in your eternal transcendental form for the benefit of the living entities so that they can see you face to face and offer their worshipful sacrifices by ritualistic performance of the Vedas, mystic meditation, and devotional service as recommended in the scriptures. Dear Lord, if you did not appear in your eternal transcendental form, full of bliss and knowledge, a form which can eradicate all kinds of speculate ignorance about your position, then all people would simply speculate about you according to their respective modes of material nature. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you read another this line still that very old man? Okay, or as a fresh youth.
Okay. He has his internal form as a fresh youth. The exact
No,
word.
from here, the appearance of Krishna.
Okay. The appearance of Krishna is the answer to all imaginative iconography of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone imagines the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to his mode of material nature. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Lord is the oldest person. Therefore, a section of religionists imagine that God must be very old, and therefore they depict a form of the Lord like a very old man. But in the same Brahma Samhita, that is contradicted. Although he is the oldest of all living entities, he has his eternal form as a fresh youth. The exact words
Okay,
used.
we can stop here. Thank you. Thanks, Krishna. So, thank you, dear. So, here in Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Lord is the oldest person, right? So, but have we ever seen, if we go by our knowledge also, have we ever seen anywhere any picture of Krishna with a long beard, with a stick holding and walking like an old man, and no hairs, bald head, and then he's not able to speak or talk and not give? No, because the same Brahma Samhita tells us, although he is the oldest of all living beings, he has his eternal form as a fresh youth. Krishna is oldest, but he never gets old. So, how Brahma Samhita explains this is Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam Adyam Puranam Purusham Navayavanam Cha वेदेषु दुर्लभ अदुर्लभ आत्मभक्तौ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. So here Brahmaji in his prayers to Krishna, he says that who is Lord, who is God, who is Krishna? Krishna is Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. He has unlimited opulences, he has unlimited forms, and he is the oldest of all, but Nav Yauvanam Cha. He is youthful every minute. He is as a fresh youth. So when the war of Mahabharata took place, that time, according to our calendars, Krishna was around 125 years old. But can you see, can you look at the form of the Lord and you can say he is 125 years old? No, because by his potency, by his mystic potency, Krishna is always as a fresh youth. Krishna is always, his age has been described in Bhagavatam as somewhere between 15 years, 7 months, and 9 months, 7 days, something like that. So, that is Vijnanam. Vijnanam doesn't mean okay to study about an atom and study about this and then not finding the root cause of it. Just we started the chapter today with a root cause. We must try to understand from where the things have come. We study atom, but we don't want to know from where the atom has come. We make big, big houses, but we don't want to know who has given us that first place, that sand from which we can make a brick, and from that brick we can make walls and the houses later. Right? So we must try to understand the root cause of it. And to understand the root cause is the Vijnana, is the transcendental knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here in Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji says, Vedeshu Durlabha, that by studying Vedas, by being very good in chanting mantras, by doing all this, it's very difficult to understand Krishna because we are doing mental speculation. Until and unless we have faith in our heart, until and unless we understand that the actual root cause of our existence and the actual purpose of our existence is to serve the Lord. Until then, it's very difficult to attain the love of Godhead. And Adurlabham Atma Bhakto, the devotees who are surrendered to Lord, who know that whatever is happening around us is mercy of Krishna. Whether good days or bad days, everything is mercy of Krishna. And Krishna is a loving Father who is well-wisher of everyone. He never wishes ill for anyone. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sammoham Sarva Bhuteshu, Name Deshti Na Vishyati. I neither hate someone, I neither dislike someone or like someone. But those who surrender to me, those who worship me, I am friend of them. Right? So sometimes people say that God, that God comes and he accepts the form of matter in the mode of goodness. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is explained that Lord is always maintained in the form of Shuddha Sat or transcendental goodness. He is above the position of all these three modes of material nature. Krishna is all attractive. He is Shyam Sundar. He has a transcendental beauty. He is blackish in form, yet he is more beautiful than any of the cupids available on this material or spiritual world. So Brahmaji says in his prayers, Venum Panantam Aravinda Layakaksham Barhavatansam Asita Ambada Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Brahmaji says Krishna is all attractive. And who is Krishna? Who is very good at playing the flute? Whose forehead is adorned by a peacock feather, and who wears yellow garments, and who is, although he is blackish, but still his beauty is much more, thousands of times more than the all cupids available. So Kandarpa Koti Kamniya Vishesha Shobham. So Koti, thousands and thousands of cupids also come together, then also their effulgence will be nullified in presence of Krishna. So that is the beauty, that is the transcendental beauty of the Lord. So if we understand that why we call him the lifter of the Govardhana, we call him Giridhari. Giridhari means the one who holds the Govardhan hill in his small finger, that too at the tender age of 7 days and 7 nights. Right? So why did he lift Govardhan hill? Just for fun? No, for the pleasure of his devotees, to protect his devotees. And not only to his devotees, even to the devotee who has lost his way. Who has lost his way? Indra. Because Indra, because of opulence, he started thinking that now he is the Lord, so he can do anything. And he forgot the Lord of the Lords, of his Lord, his own Lord. So that's why, to protect him, to get submerged in that material ocean of desires, Krishna played the role of a Girdhari. So he protected Brajvasis from the rain, and he protected Indra from the rain of his ego. And then sometimes we call him Nanda Nandana or Devaki Nandana, because he appeared as the son of Maharaj Nanda, Vasudeva Devaki. And now I think, dear Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, by now this point is clear that Krishna appears as it is in the mind of Vasudeva, and from there he gets transferred to the mind of Devaki, to the heart of Devaki, and from there to the womb of Devaki. And yesterday we read that how Vasudeva and Devaki were glowing with effulgence when Krishna was with them. So similarly, if you hold on to the transcendental lotus feet of the Lord, you will glow whatsoever. Material benefits, material success come as a byproduct of spiritual service, of transcendental loving service to the Lord. Right? So here demigods are again stressing on this point that one must engage himself in devotional service, then one can understand your absolute nature and your transcendental form, name, and qualities. Okay, so if we go on speculating, we can go on speculating for millions of years, we can go on debating over millions of years, but the devotees who have little also inclination towards the love of Godhead, towards the lotus feet of the Lord, what do they do? Do they waste their time in speculating, oh, who is Krishna? Is he the God? Is he this? No. What do they do? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this way, when they keep chanting, they keep remembering Krishna, keep remembering the beautiful pastimes of Krishna, then they are 24 hours in Krishna's company. So it is like you are with the bodyguard 24 hours, 24 by 7, right? So you have to be prepared for that. For that, you have to develop that characteristic. Suppose we are a normal citizen here, and we say, okay, I need 10 bodyguards around me. Anybody will give you? No. If you have the capacity, you pay, otherwise nobody will give. But then someday you become a minister or a prime minister or some associate also of a prime minister, then prime minister orders, no, he is my friend, give him bodyguard, give him protection, so you will get the protection. So similarly, you have to develop that characteristic. And how to develop that characteristic? By chanting the holy names of the Lord. Because if you keep chanting mango, or you keep chanting Coca-Cola, it will not come and give you the pleasure. It will not come in your mouth on its own. But that is the difference between material world and the spiritual world. And the spiritual world, if you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, you will get the full benefit. Your heart will be pleased. Your soul will get the nutrition. And then why? Because there is no difference between the transcendental name and form of the Lord. There is no difference between the transcendental pastimes and the form of the Lord. Anyone, those with very less intelligence also, if they just take to Krishna consciousness, they just chant Krishna's name, so they will be delivered from this material world. I'll tell you one short story. There was a Brahmana and he was reading Bhagavad Gita and he was crying. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reached there, so he said, why are you crying? He said, no, my Guru Maharaj said just to read. So he said, yes, you are doing very good because you are following the orders of your spiritual master. He asked you to read and you are reading. Then why are you crying? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu noticed that everybody around him was laughing at him and making fun of him. But still, he went on crying and he went on reading. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him that why are you crying? He said, because I don't know how to read. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just got hold of him and he said, "You are the best devotee in the world." Because although you don't have the qualification, you don't know how to read, still because your spiritual master has ordered you, you are trying to read it. You are following his order. So to get qualified, like if you want to get qualified to for NUS, for IIT, PMT, or SMU, or some best of the universities of the world, you have to qualify, right? You have to prepare for that. You just cannot say, "Oh, I want to go to NUS. Today I fill the form, tomorrow I should get the admission." No, that's not possible. It doesn't work that way. So similarly, when you are in Krishna consciousness, you cannot say, "Oh, I have started chanting 16 rounds a day." 16 rounds means one round is 108 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I have started chanting 16 rounds. So within 10 days, I must get the result. No, it doesn't work like that. We have to qualify for that. And to qualify for that, we have to be consistent. So consistency to achieve the goal is a must. And then the satisfaction. Whether you achieve it or don't achieve it, you accept it as mercy of the Lord and keep endeavoring. Because endeavoring plus mercy only leads to mercy of the Lord only leads to success. And when mercy is mixed in endeavor, whether it is success or failure, my dear Vaishnavis and Vaishnavas, please note that it is transcendental success only. So Dama Brahmana, he didn't had anything, but still his name is mentioned in Bhagavatam. He is the greatest devotee of the Lord. He is friend and devotee of the Lord, and Lord came out running out of Dwarka to meet his friend. So develop your qualifications so that you don't go to the Lord, but Lord sees your effort and come to you. So this is what demigods are praying, that when you appear on the earth, demons like Kamsa and Jarasandha will be vanquished. So demons like desire, greed, lust, all this which are present in our heart will be vanquished. They as a side effect only. But the main thing is to endeavor, to develop the desire to serve the Lord lovingly. So this Janmashtami, develop that desire, that not only I just go there and ask, give me this, give me this. Srila Prabhupada says that Lord is not the order supplier. He is there for us. Sometimes you can ask, then whom should I ask? You ask Lord, but then you be satisfied with whatever is given to you. You keep endeavoring. You just try to have the dust of the lotus feet so that you can advance spiritually. So demigods are saying that Krishna, when he when he appears on the earth, is only for pleasurable pastimes, to give pleasure to the devotees. The protection of the devotees and annihilation of non-devotees are actually not the business of Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he descends, it is just for his transcendental pleasure. And there is no other reason for his appearance. So demigods are telling Mother Devaki that within your womb is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with his plenary extensions. Therefore, you should not be afraid of your brother, the King Puja. So here you can understand it that Krishna as Super Soul is already in your heart. You don't have to look for internet. Don't have to look in Instagram. You don't have to go to Google and search where is the Super Soul. No, it's there in your heart. Only thing is you have to qualify to have those transcendental eyes to see the Lord, to feel the presence of Him by serving Him, loving Him. We can lie to anyone in this world, but we cannot lie to the super soul who is residing in our own heart. So here it said that Devaki was very much afraid of her brother Kamsa because he had already killed so many of her children. But to pacify Devaki, all the demigods, along with their wives, they used to keep coming to her. And then, thus worshipping the transcendental form of the Lord, All the demigods with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva placed in front departed for their heavenly abodes. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the second chapter of Krishna, prayers by the demigod for Lord Krishna in the womb. So here what demigods are implying by the prayers to Lord Krishna is very nicely stated in Bhagavatam. See, tapasvino dan parayashashvino manasvino mantra vidha sumangala shimam navindanti vinayadarpanam tasmai shubhadre shavase namah. That how much of austerities one do, how much of donations one give, how much of opulence one acquires, and then he says, oh, it's because of me, because I have worked hard, so this opulence is mine. Or whatever mantras, the Sanskrit shlokas, how much fluently they recite. But Bhagavatam says, Srila Shukdev Goswami says, it is of no use. It is useless. Why? Because it has no love for Godhead. It is not surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whatever work we are doing and to whoever demigod we are praying, ultimately it's coming to him out. But if we are not doing that, if we are not offering it to him, then what we are doing, we are getting bounded in this material life of birth and death again and again. Because instead of satisfying Lord Krishna, what we are doing, we are trying to satisfy our own senses, whether it's personal or it's extended. Suppose a thief is there, he steals something, and then he says, no. When the judge says you have to be in jail, he said, no, I did this for my family, so you arrest them. And the family says, no, it's your duty to take care of us. Or whether you do it with a proper way or improper way, it's your problem. So you will be the only one who has to be punished. So similarly, we are responsible for our actions. We are responsible for being grateful or ungrateful. So if we are grateful, the seed of devotional service fructifies. And the material opulence comes as a byproduct only. And Krishna gives guarantee in Bhagavad Gita, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. O Arjuna, go and make announcement that my devotees never perish. Whatever you have, I protect. Whatever you don't have, I provide. So when the Supreme Lord, the Lord of Lords, is giving you the guarantee that you just sit down and chant his name, you just remember him. If you see black clouds, you remember Krishna. If you see lightning, you remember the yellow garments of Krishna. If you see the wind blowing, you remember the sweet breeze of Vrindavan, which carries the pollens of lotus in the Yamuna river, and the sweet flute sound along with that breeze, and you remember Krishna. If you see mountain, you remember him. So these are the ways to keep our senses engaged in remembering Krishna. So while being in this material world, we can realize the supreme bliss, the transcendental bliss, which is eternal, which is not like this material world where 1 minute we are happy and the other minute the distress, the sadness is ready to knock at the door. But we will be in a transcendental bliss. So dear devotees, please try to buy Krishna book. Because of time limitation, we cannot read through the whole chapter. It's very beautiful. Each and every word Srila Prabhupada has written is a nectar, and you would love to read it. So this Janmashtami, bring Krishna home by bringing Krishna book, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Bring them home and join us and read with us at the same time. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Leela Purushottam Bhagwan Shri Krishna ki jai. Supreme Personality of Godhead Shri Krishna ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki jai. All glories to assembled devotees of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining, everyone.